Hey everyone, so I'm really excited because I have a special guest today. Hi.
Hi, I'm Andrea from B0, Waste Girl.
Yeah, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I am the director and founder of B0. We're a nonprofit based in Boulder, Colorado, and we teach people how to dramatically reduce their trash and plastic footprint and to live more simple and sustainable lifestyles. And you probably may have found me on Instagram at B0 Waste Girl. We have a good community over there.
Yeah, so we are here in St. Petersburg and we've had such a lovely conversation today about so many different aspects of zero waste and ways you can reduce it and what zero waste really means to you and me personally. And I think I kind of wanted to start that conversation with you guys of what is or why behind zero waste, because as zero wasters we encounter a lot of issues and problems and criticisms. So it's interesting to kind of tackle that. So personally, what do you think kind of is your definition of zero waste, and like how do you want to portray it to the world?
Yeah, I think, when we're talking about zero waste, it's really important to understand that zero waste is a way for us to be differently in the world, to rethink how our consumer actions and our lifestyles really affect the whole. And so when we're talking about zero waste, the term zero can be sometimes a little bit confusing, right? Because it's really referring to a industrial term called a zero waste economy, which is actually a circular economy. So when we think of it that way, it's really just trying to create a structure for us human beings to live on this earth that doesn't disrupt the planet as much as we're disrupting it now. And so it's going to take a lot for us to kind of do those things together, because we're all going to have to learn a lot together, right? And so I think understanding the whys behind it is all being just intentional and conscious of how we're consuming, and realizing that there's going to be contradictions along the way. And there's going to be things that maybe don't make sense to other people, but it's really just these small, tiny actions that we continuously do that start this conversation.
And that's a word I really loved, intentional living and living consciously. And it's not about, oh, I have to be perfect and zero waste all the time, but if I'm in a situation, what is the most sustainable thing I can do here today? Exactly. And we actually had a big zero waste fail today. We went to go get some burrito bowl type concoction, and we told them we had our own silverware and we got a plastic fork. And we both said that if you would have told us that a year ago or when we first got started, we would have been really angry and would have panicked and we would have gotten really upset about it. Yeah. And I think it was interesting because we both kind of looked at it, we sighed, we're like, ugh, and okay, and we just continued what we were doing because yes, that sucked, but in a way, there's not much we could have done in that instance, but educate people and change the conversation in the long run.
Exactly.
So it's okay to not be perfect. And it's okay to kind of take it one step at a time and define it by you.
Okay.
So if you had to tell someone just getting started, someone who might have just heard about this lifestyle and is just a little bit interested, kind of, I guess, some advice. Like, let's do like this. What are your 3 advice to anyone who's getting started in zero waste?
That's a good question. So I think, what I usually tell people is to think of this as just, thinking about why we're using the materials we're using, and if we go to a restaurant and we see straws or things like that, we have to start to develop these relationships with the things that we use every day. We kind of get a little distracted from it. We don't have to think about it because our trash is so neatly gathered and taken away. And so we don't have to really deal with that kind of part of, stuff. And so kind of thinking about stuff a little bit differently, like materials differently. So this idea of material mindfulness.
I like that word.
Yeah. It's one of my good friends, Raina from Recycling is Sexy. She kind of coined that term. I like to use it a lot. And so this idea of material mindfulness, and then also just taking little steps, it's putting more value back into the things that we use. So if we have more value in the things that we use and keep, then we don't use a plastic water bottle, or we have our own utensils, or we kind of refuse things because we take ownership of our personal things and we like to use it. Like I love my little keep cup now that I have for my mason jar. You know, people ask me a lot, do you break it or has it ever broke? I'm like,
Right.
no, like I've had my mason jar for years and it hasn't broke because I love it and it means something to me and I take ownership of it and take care of it. So I guess this is a little long answer, but like, but just like having like, simplifying first, I think, putting more value into our things and applying that into everything. Because that all has to do with like, our trash isn't just about trash. It's a story about what we value. And so putting value back into our things is the first thing because.
So great value, simplifying, and applying it.
Yeah, and applying it.
And really finding what we were saying earlier, your drive for this movement, and then finding out how you can do the best version of you and do that.
Exactly. And I think that takes less pressure off, right? Because, it can get like a little like overwhelming sometimes when you're thinking about, oh, this trash. I'm like, oh my gosh, they gave me a straw and then I got a bag, or I buy this and it comes in this plastic, it's like if we collectively start this conversation, then we can collectively start to shift the way these things are made and designed in the first place. So it's going to take time to get to a place where, it's actually a zero waste world, where now we're just trying to usher in.
We're getting there. It's a goal that we're trying to reach ultimately. And I think that with people like you and movements that you're doing, we can really get there eventually. So where do you hang out on the internet? Where can people find you?
You can find me at our website is at www.b0bezero.org, and then on Instagram and Twitter at b0wastegirl.
Awesome. So if you have a last comment or something you want to share with everyone, something to inspire them, what's your quote?
I would say, live simply, refuse trash, put meaning and value back into your things, and in your communities. I think when we start there with that, we're all going to grow in our own ways and take these things and apply them just the way they should be applied.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.
So don't forget to live sustainably and consciously, and I will see you in my next video.
Bye.